What's up? It's your girl at Tiffany M. Draper, and we are going to get into what I've been trying to tell y'all about like forever. Oh, fellas, this is what y'all ladies are listening to, K. Michelle, and I need to start breaking up some snippets of me and B. Rogers and stuff that we do. But until we can get into that, let's get into this mess.
It says it's so honest that most men are like, I can't stand. One and only Derek Jackson, social media. The man.
We need to come up with the super simple awards because he would win the Oscar equivalent. Derek Jackson.
Who lays it down and says it's so honest that most men are like, I can't stand him. But at the end...
He doesn't lay it down. No. He's not honest. He panders.
The day.
Says who?
A lot of guys on your page be like, dude, come on.
Most, though. That's subjective.
Did you see what he just said? Says who? Like he don't see the backlash.
Yeah? Why do you think so many guys don't like you?
I think a lot of guys have problems with the things I'm revealing that they need to fix in themselves. So they pissed off at me like I'm the problem. When the real problem is the work that they got to do and the fact that they don't want to do it.
Ooh. So...
Now we know that black women need to do a lot more work. No, women in general need to do a lot more work on their personalities, a lot of character flaws than men do, period. But look what he just said.
This is what K. Michelle said on our show when she was here last week. This is one of the clips. And we're going to allow you to call in Atlanta 404-741-WVEE.
Everything that I've gone through has been because of lack of self-esteem and men being in the middle.
What do you mean? Like, explain that. Like,
I don't think men are good people.
Wait, you think that now? All men?
I don't think they're good people.
Why not?
The reason for that, and I truly believe that, the reason for that is, like, for men to...
I don't think your plastic surgeon was a good person. For he got you up there looking like Jigsaw. That's what I don't think. I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 he was a man and you trusted him. Look what he did to you. Let me back that up because I'm going to let you get all this out before I attack you like I really want to. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to say not attack because we're going to have a bunch of black women on here. She's attacking. No. Before I critique this bull crap.
Because of lack of self-esteem and men being in the middle.
What do you mean? Like, explain that. Like,
I don't think men are good people.
Wait, you think that now? All men?
I don't think they're good people.
Why not?
The reason for that, and I truly believe that, the reason for that is, like, for men to do things that they consider small in the flesh.
Let me say this real fast before I forget. Some of y'all watch Family Guy. Do y'all remember that episode where Chris was dating Taylor Swift and he got her to take him to the prom, right? Or whatever. They were having such a great time, but then Taylor Swift got online and uploaded a thing about how such a terrible person he was. The whole gist of that was how women make more, money bashing men and heartbreak songs, to the left. If he liked it, he should have put a ring on it. And what else? All of K. Michelle songs, all of Keisha Cole songs, all of Beyonce songs, even though she's happily married with 3 kids. Do you see where I'm going with this? Yeah. So let me back that up one more time. I'm not going to interrupt her, and then I'm going to dig into her.
For that, and I truly believe that. The reason for that is, like, for men to do things that they consider small in the flesh of, like, cheating. You know that that's going to destroy your partner, but you do it anyway. That's not a mistake. We've watched the same story over and over again.
Yeah.
And just because I'm a woman, I'm supposed to accept your betrayal.
Right.
Because you're taking advantage of my love for you, and I'm supposed to just be the one behind you riding or dying. I'm not dying with nobody. And to see girls come up to me, I'm the girl they come up to all day long crying. They tell me the most disgusting of stories that I couldn't even believe. And a lot of times men, the wrong man, will stunt your growth as a woman. Women could be doctors, lawyers, and everything. But
hold on, y'all. I don't want to talk with food in my mouth. But all that weave and them perms will stunt the growth of your hair. But whatever.
they in the bed crying over what a man did to them.
I don't believe that, man. I think that's a generalized
Okay,
statement.
what you think?
You think all them bad except you?
He really he like, uh-oh. I gotta disagree with a woman. I don't know if what this gonna do with my bank account. But see how he's nervous and sweating? He already talks like he's backup dancer for Prince. But do you see that? He's literally like, oh my God, I'm gonna disagree with a woman on a very huge platform. I don't know how this is gonna go.
Not even that. I think just based on what you said, I think your experiences are valid, and I think the things that she was talking about are extremely valid, but in the way that you've internalized it is toxic. It's like, yeah, there are kids in Chicago that are committing crimes, but hypothetically, let's say you have a son or a daughter. That doesn't mean that your son or daughter is a bad person because kids over there are doing wrong, even though those things are actually happening. So I think that's a generalized statement to say all men are bad. I think all men can be better, the same way that women can. We could speak.
You talking out of both sides of your mouth, Derek. Because when we go on your Instagram and what you did to me when you stole my picture when I showed that Michelle Williams was wearing your shirt and how you just disrespected me and all that other different stuff. And I was trying to help you get some money because even though I don't like you and I think you sound like a bad built Murph, and yeah, you're bad built because you real swole at the top. I don't like a swole at the top. You like that's a boy Damon type swole. But I don't like you, but I'll never try to stop somebody's bag. So I was trying to help you, Ike, and tell you that Michelle Williams was on national television with one of your shows. I mean, one of your shirts on. I think it was something about don't come for me unless I come it for you or something like that. And you stole what I sent you and didn't even acknowledge it and thank me. Yeah, so I don't like you. But you're a super simp. You're a super simp.
To the things that we're doing wrong in terms of holding us accountable. But whenever you say all men are bad.
But you talking out of both sides of your neck. Because on YouTube is all men's fault. On Instagram is all men's fault. But right now you realize that you have to disagree with her or you'll look crazy.
You're almost giving them a pass to continue being bad. And that I'm not for.
I can't give them the pass to do nothing. They've been clowns for years. So there's not a pass I can give. Men like to take that and make women be the blame for why they're acting like that or this and that. Yes, I have been in some relationships and they haven't been good for me. You know, but it's not just me that I'm basing this off of. It's women in every city. I've been on the road every week for 5 years. 5 years. And these women are walking up to me, I mean, like crying. Not even like, oh, he did this, like broke down. Souls broke down.
Right.
So as soon as they come towards me, I know the first thing they're going to say, something they man did to them. No, it's never anything good. I rarely hear anything good that a man has done to help a woman become a better woman. I go on the real. I go on what's brought. You all can be like, oh, there is a good man. Yeah, probably 1%. You want to talk?
Seriously? 1% of that hair on your head is yours. But let's get into it because sometimes they're crying because they slept with a Pookie and Ray Ray and they knew that was a Pookie and Ray Ray, but they still chose to be with Pookie and Ray Ray because they thought that they could change Pookie and Ray Ray. So maybe she's crying because she knows the error of her ways, but she got people like you that's gonna say, it's all his fault, girl. Because he was wrong for approaching you when he knew he was wrong. And you were wrong for not noticing the red flags because you wanted what you wanted. Now you stuck with poo-poo and poo-poo. Yeah, you stuck with you stuck with Pookie and Ray Ray's offspring that he don't want nothing to do with because he beat it out the frame on your one little bouncy spring mattress that probably ain't got no motherfucking, what's the bottom mattress called, a box spring on it, and half y'all sleeping on air beds, but that's another story. Air mattresses.
1%.
That's different.
You want to talk about a 1%?
But if you're gonna tell the truth,
And he might be gay. He might just be being good to his gay partner.
you gotta tell both sides of it. And when that
Boy,
mentality,
his head dropped when he heard the word gay because he know he's an undercover brother, like the movie.
you're only gonna
And I only say that. I hate when women try to call men gay, but he got some. Either he was raised by all females, which I think he was, but still, y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't explain it. Fellas, ladies in the comment section, listen to how he talks. It sounds like how a female talks, like the 40-year-old version. I mean, 40-year-old version, the 40-year-old brat. Go to her channel and you'll know what I'm talking about. Me and my girlfriend. Just like a female.
Again, that 99% that you think exists that represents the worst of us. Because let's say a good man does come along. Is that mentality going to attract him and make him want to stay around?
Well, who cares what attracts him? That's not what it's about for me in my life. I pay my own bills right now.
Oh, I'm an independent, strong black female, and I don't need no man.
So when you pay your own bills, you're gonna think about love differently. So if a man is not willing to show and prove who he is, he's not for me. I'll put up this wall, and if you're not going to climb it, then you need to stay on the other side.
That's the you don't know how to handle me attitude, and a man shouldn't have to handle you. You are not a zoo animal. You may have zoo animal hair on your head, but you are not a zoo animal. Nobody want to come home with something they have to handle. They want to grab them love handles and hit it from the back. Probably they don't want no love handles anyway. They want somebody fit, but that's another story.
Of it. I'm going to speak and say how I feel. This submission stuff with Fantasia, I'm not submitting to nothing.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Kevin Samuels, please. And my Derek Jackson, taste every word I say. Please help this girl.
Bag and my kids and my career. I will submit. There is no.
You mean that son you raising, but you just said that you believe men are bad people. All of them, literally all. You know how women want to say, not all. She literally said all men are bad people. You are raising a young boy that will become a man. You think he's bad?
Mission without a mission. There has to be a mission. These men don't have missions.
You have absolutely no obligation to submit or do anything.
Oh, he's like, I need to throw some pandering in there. I don't want to lose my audience.
Wise to be consistent in what it is that you want. Do you really want a healthy relationship with a man that is good?
Okay.
If that's the case, then you have to create a welcoming space for that.
And
what you're talking about is not welcome.
I've been in a relationship for...
But let me just say this. Believe it or not, my aunt beat it in me that all men weren't bad. A black woman. Because she grew up in a time where women were feminine and submissive and all that type of stuff. Do y'all know I was not always like this? Fighting for men like this? Absolutely not. She beat it in my head. All men are not bad. Stop talking like that. As you continue to listen to her, when I shut up, you're going to hear where she believes that she don't believe there's good men. I literally thought all men cheated and all men were dogs. Da, da, da. If I can change, any woman can change.
Now 3 years. I knew him for 20. Right?
I feel for this
and
brother
he
on this
was
other side of this microphone.
Why not feel for me? Why are you feeling for him? Like, I've been friends with somebody for over 20 years. We get in a relationship, and as soon as things get bad for me, health-wise, and I'm not as strong, I wasn't brought up like I should have been brought up. I was made to feel even more insecure in the situation. Me as a woman, I have decided that there's years and time within this.
Y'all know she got them jigsaw puffy cheeks.
Babies about to be born and everything, so we are working on this relationship. But before we were a couple, I still spoke on these situations. I tell my relationships to the women that come and cry. I let them know mine ain't perfect. I'm not no relationship goals for y'all. I'm just gonna tell y'all the truth at all times.
But I think
the truth as you know it, that's your opinion. You saying all men are bad people is an opinion. That's not a fact.
What I'm trying to say is, if you want a relationship, does that attitude create the space in order to accept the good man when he comes along?
Thank you.
It might scare him, but he need to be scared.
Oh, Lord, she's so problematic.
You want a man to be scared. Not
scared. He needs to know what he's getting into. Like we always say, don't pull it out unless you're going to use it.
I'm going to tell you something. What he's getting into is your vagina, and he's going to run. What does Tommy Sotomayor say? Skeet and skedaddle. With that type of attitude, skeet and skedaddle.
I think at the end of the day, women do have a lot of power in those decisions.
Okay.
I think ultimately, it's terrible to hear you talk about how you know these feelings are toxic and you don't think nothing could be done about it.
Thank you, whoever you are.
But every day, we know what the facts are. We know
Notice how he talked compared to Derek Jackson. That's how a real man talks, by the way.
Men have issues.
He's not talking like this.
Women have issues, but I think a lot of women have the power, what they deal with and what they tolerate, and I think that can help men be better at the same time.
That's real.
Here's the thing that's...
You see how she said that's real. Just like them women on Kevin Samuels show act like they agree, but then everything else they say is contrary.
Confusing for me, and I'll say it to both you and Derek. I believe truly that women have power to motivate men to do whatever they want. Women are the best. Listen to what I'm saying. Women can.
I say this all the time. They need to bring back what was it called? Where if you were married, I forgot what it's called, y'all. And a man was in jail, he could have time to have relations. He can have sex, once a week, once a month, whatever. Forgot what it's called. But they need to bring that back because a lot of places and jails and prisons have stopped that. I'm telling you, the men will be on their best behavior. Fights wouldn't be happening just so they can see they wife or their girl or whatever. They need to bring that back. I'm telling y'all, all these fights, all these prisons that them men sit up in here, some of them no fapping too. Some of them is semen retentioning all in that mother freaker. Saving it up for their girl.
Move a man. First, if you look back through history, women have caused more wars in this earth than anybody. Women control the cards. And the women that
women are the reason people die. I say it all the time. She ate the apple and convinced Adam's punk A to eat the apple. And then when I try to hold accountability, women tell me, it's Adam's fault because Adam's the man. And he shouldn't have ate it. Okay, well, if he hadn't ate it, then only women would die, technically. Because that was the punishment, death, right? Anyway, that's a whole different story. And I don't even know if Lilith was really there or not. I'm not as woke as I need to be. I'm still trying to wake up. But that was the first poly if Lilith is actually real.
The best are the gold diggers and whatever. They know how to manipulate men. Women know how to manipulate men.
That ain't there, Frank.
Well, listen. But listen to what I'm saying.
That's a fact.
Wait. I'm not saying that as a conclusion.
Did Derek try to pander and break in? Oh no, don't say that. Don't say that. If I sit here, acceptance, what would I say? Silence is acceptance. I need to say that's not true. I can't have people thinking that I think that women are manipulative.
I'm saying what's confusing for me is women are magical manipulators. They can manipulate situations in men because they get into the emotion of things that men be like tripping about.
Don't even think about.
So what I'm saying is, if women have the power to manipulate, why don't they have the power to change the situation that men do?
Woo!
Right, now we're putting the responsibility of who we are on women, and we've done a lot of that.
And I'm putting the responsibility of how you talk on your mother.
Believe is, a woman can't change a man. A woman can't inspire the qualities in a man that he should have had before he even came across her. But
I agree.
She can do is protect herself. What she can do is make sure she doesn't tolerate it past the point that she realizes he's doing what he's doing.
I don't believe that.
Women can inspire and influence things.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I don't believe it.
Okay.
Let me tell you why I don't believe it. Because every man that's been out there and has said to himself, "Oh my God, I love her. I want to marry her." Something happened to that man's psyche at that point when he said, "I want to marry you." He could have been out here on the street. He could have been doing whatever he wants to do. And then he comes across that one woman that changes everything about his outlook. Okay? And then he changes and he gets with that one woman. Now, from that point until he gets to another point where something happens to his psyche where he decides to cheat, that's the area I'm talking about right there. There was a time when the woman had him. And he wasn't cheating.
Just because they get a ring don't mean they wasn't cheating. Men get married and cheat the night before. So you can't...
them bachelor parties be pissing me off. I don't believe in that. I believe in... Oh, fellas, help me. Because I believe that's cheating if you feel like that's your last free night and you bump one of the strippers. I'm not down with that. Just like bachelorettes. You shouldn't be having penis... Derek Jackson dude swinging his penis in your face on your bachelorette party. That's cheating.
Can't put women in control just because you say we're manipulators. We can't. You know how many women would have been manipulated men to not cheat on them?
What I'm saying
it was possible?
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If I'm a single guy and I'm out here single and I'm playing the field and I'm getting everything I want, why would I marry you? Something happened.
Facts.
You
That's
did
facts.
something.
You see my face, are
You
you
did
right?
something to me to
I
make
did
these.
something to you.
As a woman,
Well,
you
there's
did
something-
something
I did
to make
something
me.
to you as a man, and you're
something in
supposed to be the head of a household.
No.
You're supposed to be the head of
Listen what I'm
everything.
saying.
You're supposed to be the head of a relationship.
Talking
How
about
can I do
selecting.
anything
No,
what
to
I'm-
you
what I'm-
to
what I'm
make
saying
you not
is,
stand
I'm
on
talking-
your 2 feet to have my back?
I'm talking about there was.
See how she's not really listening? She's getting emotional. She's really been hurt. A lot of us have, but not just females. I want the world to understand that. It's not just females. Ladies, we have to understand men get hurt too. They just express their hurt in a different way.
Something magical that happened to make that man say,
So
damn.
focus.
Well, give me the magic dust to put on his sausage to make him not go poking.
Go to the phones real quick. Big E in Atlanta, what you think?
Man, I think K. Michelle and the other caller is out of their mind. I'm a married man. I had to
LOL.
wake up and listen to these battered women. Battered women
Look at
trying
how
That
you
sound like my co-host, B. Rogers. And look how she finna attack him. Hold on, let me run that back and shut up. I have to talk over this called fair use so I can use somebody else's work and add my own commentary so I won't get a copyright. So if you don't want to hear me talking, go to the original video on the V103. Derek Jackson asked K. Michelle why she thinks men are not good people. All right, let's go.
the other caller is out of their mind. I'm a married man. I had to wake up and listen to these battered women. Battered women trying
Look at how
to
you
justify.
sound.
These battered women try to justify their bad choices.
What do women do? Add homonyms. I'm gonna attack how you sound and not address, right, what you're saying. Now, you do that too, Tiffany. You're talking about how Derek Jackson talks. He's a super simp. Y'all know that. That's different. That's different.
Sometimes y'all just make bad choices and then y'all try to blame it on all men. I'm a married man, happily married. I've been in the game, watching the game forever. It's like watching K. Michelle. We see you make bad mistakes. We like, why you do that? Then you come on the show and be like, oh man. We like, yo, you just making bad decisions. Just call it what it is. It's a lot of men out here doing the right thing, but women don't want to say, hey, they're doing what they want to do instead of what they need to do at that time.
You don't need no cookie because you married. You don't get a cookie.
No, address what he said. Address what he said. Stop that. Why is she doing this?
Never look at the dude that's the good dude because that's not the one
Look,
they
he
want
ignoring her.
at the time. But what the good dude said,
And that goes with what me and B. Rogers will be talking about. And tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, Dallas, Texas, we'll be talking about that good one that you passed up because you wanted Pookie and Ray Ray.
why don't you want me? Then they get bad and get abused by these dudes out here in the street. Then they come back to the other dude and be like, yo, I've been abused. Just like Kay said, I've been knowing this dude for 20 years. It just took you 20 years to get back to that dude. If you went out there and played around and did what you wanted to do, he been there the whole time.
That's right. That's
Wake
real. But
up,
guess what?
man,
He still had a problem. Hey, Big E, what you want? A Happy Meal?
Is that Big E from my chat?
No,
That's what you want. Let me get you to understand that one.
See how he's really just trying to say what he said, but she's trying to literally attack him. This is what black men deal with, and that's why they date out. Because they can go their whole lives without having or seeing a feminine black woman.
You don't know me. You need to hold on.
All the over-talking, masculine energy, all that. And I'm guilty of it as well, so I'm trying to change.
First place, your tone shows me that you're not a good man. The way you're talking about these battered women, you need to
Seriously? He said, ask my wife.
pull your tone, pull your bass down. Big E, you think you something because you got married. You don't get a cookie for that. You don't get a cookie for marriage, okay? You talking about, it's on TV. This how I get my money. So you don't talk about, I tell you what you need to see. So you don't know what's going on. And what I'm telling you is,
I don't like what she just said, because basically she knows that she's polluting the minds of women by dissing and bashing men. I tell you what you need to see, because she said that's how she make her money. So that means she's a sellout. And she's willing to promote propaganda that's going to break up the black home.
men like you, you're not the 1%. From how you talk,
hold on,
you're not
Biggie.
the good 1%.
Hold on 1 second. All right, Derek, go ahead. What you think?
Man,
I
look.
love the way, he about to pander. I love the way these callers are talking to her like she's a regular female and not some superstar celebrity that's rich. They talking to her like Lakeisha that work at Walmart. Bring that down a notch, baby. Get off your high horse. I know you got horse hair. I know you got horse hair, but bring it down.
I get what she's saying, and I get what he's saying to an extent, a much smaller extent. But in the same way,
I get what he's saying to a much smaller percent. Although that guy is making 100% truth. But let's pander to the women because that's how I get my money. All of them got agendas. All of them are sellouts.
He's generalizing, everybody up here is being battered because they have very valid experiences.
Oh, get that bull crap out of here. You want to sell out on them shirts as well. That's why you have to sell out.
I think in the same way K. Michelle can't generalize men because she's had some bad experiences that all guys are trash and all of that. Once again,
I gotta act like I know that she's wrong a little bit too, or I'm gonna look stupid.
You're gonna attract that thing that you're so focused on if that's the only thing that you're materializing and validating out here. So I have a question for K. Michelle. Like, what exactly is a 1%?
I don't truly believe that. Oh, you attract what you are. No, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a cheater. I'm not a dog. I'm not a manipulator. I don't like when people say that because they act like they don't realize that bad people can recognize good things and want their cake and eat it too. The bad can recognize the light in you. So stop saying that you are what you attract what you are. Like, I don't know. Somebody put me on game on that. I understand what Derek is saying. Maybe you're materializing that because you're thinking about it. I don't know.
What does that look like? What is that great guy?
Like Jesus and Obama.
Oh, the simple fact that she said that, throw the whole brain away. Throw the whole brain away.
So with that being said,
well, not about Jesus, because, I'm a Christian, but the Obama part. Let me correct that. The Obama part,
And both of those men are spoken for. Obama. So you have everything.
You're black. You're supposed to be Democrat. Yes, we can. Yes, we did. 2 terms. Look, he said both of them are taken. Jesus was single his whole life, Derek. Get it together.
Well, you got every right to believe that there's no other good man except for Jesus and Obama. Okay, cool. But
I see it's better than last time I gave you 2.
But you
Oh my God, she's toxic.
Wise to even pursue a relationship thinking it can be anything other than toxic.
You real.
Because you're saying I only got space for the
They
absolute
creep
worst.
me out.
Well, that's very toxic. It's scary. Like the other dude said, that you are realizing that this is toxic behavior and a toxic rhetoric, but you're still going to spew it. That's scary. Because that's like in the Bible when it says that it's worse to know and still do wrong. Like she knows, but she's still doing wrong. That's worse than somebody that doesn't know at all. That's illiterate and oblivious to the fact that something is wrong.
They creep me out. Like they creep me out. The one person that I thought was in that 1%, the one person that I thought was gonna have my back, it didn't go down like
holding
that.
on to that and defining everything by that one experience.
No, I was real messed up in the head way before him. He ain't gonna take all that responsibility.
That's real. You were
AT aliens did that,
So here's the thing. Do you even want to be in a healthy relationship at all?
I don't believe they're possible.
Okay.
Oh.
You're just going to be single the rest of your life and you're good. And
No,
are you happy with that?
I'm not single. I'm just floating.
Are you happy?
She's bringing children in the world. Listen, she's going to have a surrogate to have those 2 babies. She said babies are about to be born with the dude she's talking about she knew for 20 years that she's been with for 4 years. Peep game. She doesn't believe that relationships are healthy. She just said that, or that there's possible, but she's bringing 2 babies into the world via surrogate. Come on now. You're going to bring these babies in the environment where you don't even believe that a relationship is possible with their father, a successful relationship. Peep game, people. Peep game is this dude on Instagram. Shout out to you. If you ever want a partner, that's fine. But I'm not trying to steal your slogan, but that's what we say down here in Dallas. Peep game, bruh.
You just floating, like truly happy, not for any kind of front.
I'm happy with certain aspects. I'm not overall completely happy. When I find that ultimate peace, that's what I really try to strive for.
If you're committed to that, that's the only thing that you're ever going to get. And so long as you're at peace with that, I'm good. I can't tell you
That's true, Derek. I'll give you 1.
To think. But in order to have something else, you got to be open to something else.
I didn't think all of them are bad. I'd rather stay in the best worst situation because they all messed up.
That's your guard being put
up.
up.
Look, they all messed up. All men are messed up according to K. Michelle.
It's keeping you safe, but really it's keeping you stuck.
Yes, Derek, preach with that one. I don't believe she feels that way. She's just been hurt so much that that's her way of protecting her heart again. Because I used to be like that. Say, well, I said that before I got in the mind frame that I really want to settle down and stuff. I was thinking, I'm just going to let my man, he can do what he want to do, and we'll just have an open relationship, and that's how I'll protect my heart. So if he does mess with another woman, I just give him that option, some Monique, that type, that comedian type, Sydney, what is it? Monique and Sydney's open relationship. That's a way that I was trying to protect my heart from getting hurt again. But then I realized, no, that's not me. I want a monogamous relationship. I want one man. I want him to have me, and we're good. So Derek is preaching on that.
Keeping you stuck in the same. It's keeping you stuck away from anything that could possibly be different.
So I'm blocking out another offender.
It's like if you were to fail on
a whole offender
dreams, if you were to fail at your career over and over again and say, you know what, if nobody's ever going to love me in my voice, nobody's ever going to appreciate me.
And you know what her problem is? As chauvinistic as I'm about to sound if I was a man, her success. Because, like she says at the beginning of this, she makes her own money and she doesn't need a man. So, therefore, she's going to feel like she doesn't ever have to submit. She doesn't ever have to compromise because I pay all my bills. And that's what's dangerous when you give women that type of power. I'm sorry, I have to keep it real. If 9 times out of 10, if a woman makes more money than a man, she's going to treat him wrong. But if a man makes more than a woman, 9 times out of 10, he's not going to treat her wrong. It's just how it is. When you give us a little power, it's crazy.
What? You don't step into that next record exec's office. You don't put that next song out. You don't even try. You don't give it a chance.
No, she's going to put all effort into her career, but she's not into building a successful, healthy relationship with a man. Not even the man that she's bringing 2 babies in the world.
Therefore, you are you're sealing your fate as never being successful.
But when I speak, it's not just on me. I'm speaking on the women that come to me.
Hey,
the
can I ask you a
women that
question?
I see.
What about
so you finna hate our men for other people too, really? For what they experience when they could be lying, which like most women are, or they could be not acknowledging, what they did wrong or taking accountability. Really? They're not taking accountability.
Daddy.
My daddy, he is my daddy. My daddy is strong. My daddy is brilliant.
Is he in the 1%?
No, Jesus and Obama's in the 1%.
Thank you, Derek. Okay, Derek. Tell her, remind her. Let's see if she's gonna make an exception for her pappy. And if she doesn't, which I can't remember what she said, then that means that she truly believes all men are terrible.
1%, but I've had men around, and I've had men around. Brilliant.
Is he in the 1%?
No, Jesus and Obama's in the 1%.
That's my 1%, but I've had men around, and I've had men around.
No, but I'm saying, is your daddy?
What was it called? Cognitive dissonance or something like that? Watch. Let's see if she contradicts herself.
In the 1%.
Well, I want to say he is because he's my daddy.
Okay.
I'm gonna be real. I'll be real to say because he's my daddy.
When from the time
because that's a man that showed me love.
But I was getting ready to say something to you. What I'm seeing is in the days we've been spending together, you are a perfectionist.
Very much.
You have done things beyond the imagination to be perfect in every aspect of your life.
Thank
your
you.
daddy gave you a bunch of history and a bunch of knowledge. You're a very smart person, went to school to get a psychology degree, the whole night. You are a perfectionist and you have this high level. And what happens is you now have that in the midst of another side of you that wants the hood dude.
No. My dude is not hood.
Not your dude now, but when you came in,
now.
you
when
said...
I came in, I wanted that.
That's
I
what I'm
wanted
saying.
goatee, dreads.
But listen,
I wanted
follow what I'm
street.
saying. You got this perfectionist, and your dad is the epitome of what a black man should be. He ran a damn Black History Museum, right? But then on the side, you want the hood dude. You go out in the street, mess with the hood dude. They totally trash you and break your heart.
Yeah.
Now you're comparing what you want with this high level of expectation.
There's no middle.
Pookie and Ray Ray.
To your experience being with these hood dudes. And what Derek is saying...
No, I
you
dated
have
all
to
type of these men.
No, but you can't because you're not attracting all type of these men. Because your aura is only going to attract a man that thinks he can deal with you. And that's what Derek is saying.
Okay.
Your aura is only going to attract a certain... See, women got to understand, you're only going to attract what you put out. So if you want something different, you have to learn within to put out something different.
No, Frank, I don't believe that. I think good, bad, or ugly, you're going to attract the good, bad, and ugly.
Look at all the women
Michelle
back here
Obama's
behind
gonna
y'all.
attract everything. It's about what you entertain, what you accept.
Okay.
She just talked about her a little bit earlier, like her dude ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing, but she's still with him.
Thank you. And she bringing 2 babies in the world with him.
Internet. She's allowing him to continue to be in her space. You haven't risen the value on your space to make somebody have to earn it by doing more than what the guy who's currently in your life is doing.
One and only.
Ooh. Y'all, if I can get Ayanna, Kevin Samuels, K. Michelle, and Derek Jackson in the same room, I would pay for that. I would pay for that. I don't know if I can afford K. Michelle. Don't know if I can afford Kevin. Don't know if I can afford Ayanna. I can afford you, Derek, because you a super simp. But if I can get all 4 of them, baby, that'll be like a Beyonce concert with a little bit of, let me see who else popping these days. I don't know who popping. I really don't like current music. Oh, the City Girls, Meg the Stallion, the Baby. That would be like one of them. They would have drawn that much attention, bro. Woo! I'm gonna try to work on that. She grabbed Tiffany and Dre, but I'm out.